Joining me now is social entrepreneur, parenting counselor, and a member of the World Health Editors Forum, Kingsley Obum Egulem. Thank you very much for joining us at this time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Because for long, many had, associated themselves with the notion that academic intelligence is all you need in life. I mean, we've seen the tests, the IQ test, the tests, what's it now, the GP, what's your score in school? What did you finish with, your GPA and all that? But tell us more about this shift.
Well, the shift basically is relying on the child's natural strength. And when I mean natural strength, I mean what this child was designed to do. You realize that if you look at the creative arts, for instance, everybody within the creative arts, if you check it, most of them didn't study anything that has to do with art. I don't know about your newsroom, but most of the journalists I worked with, I think a majority of them studied microbiology.
Or something else, other than journalism, mass communication.
Exactly.
So
if
true.
you have a microbiology graduate who is doing so, in fact, one of them, Shola Osunke, Declan Baleke, actually won the CNN African Journalist of the Year award 3 times. So what does that tell you? It tells you that there was an inherent talent within these guys. But somehow, because of the way our system is designed, our educational system is designed, we could not spot. And you always hear this word, SYZ was discovered, SYZ was discovered. Now, what are you discovering? You are actually discovering what is in there. The school, as designed currently, doesn't have the capacity to discover. And discovering is different from imparting.
So it's just left to the student or the individual, for example, to have that burning desire to be something else other than what he's doing.
Else. Sorry.
Most kids even turn out suppressing those until later in life.
That's it. That something else is what the school should actually do. So our emphasis is on teaching, not in discovering. Because see, what you're discovering in the child is greater and bigger than what you're actually teaching the child. Because your teaching should resonate such that the child now connects into that thing. Now, let me tell you this. Natural intelligence, as it were, is something that every child, even the children that are described as dunces, have natural intelligence. I'll give you an instance. When you were small, there was something you do so well. True or false? Nobody taught you that thing. That is called natural intelligence.
So tell us about those tools now that administrators in the education system in Nigeria should have or have always had, and they've been underutilizing them to harness the full potential of a child.
Currently, beyond retraining, those who are positioned to make this happen are actually guardians and counselors. But the guardians and counselors that we have right now in schools actually don't even know themselves very well, let alone spotting a child. Because, talents that have been destroyed cannot discover other talents. So if a guidance and counselor is not even in the right place to start with, cannot see properly to discover a child who's got a lot of talents. So first of all, we need to have talent spotters, talent managers, people who have the natural inclination to see a child and say, wow, this child, you are bigger than this. You've got this. Beyond the subject the child is good at.
And it's good we are having this conversation because, we're in the long vacation period. And of course, this is the cross, or how will I say it now? This is just the point before a full session begins.
That's it.
What should we be doing now? How should kids spend their vacation?
Oh, boy. That's an episode on its own.
But would you advise the lessons go for the...
Right now, smart kids, this is actually when smart kids and smart parents leverage to, go beyond the normal. Children who have the talents, this is actually when those talents begin to fly. Right. You don't do mathematics now. You don't do chemistry now. What you do now, vocational studies
All right.
that brings out the natural
Kingsley
talent
Obum
of the child.
Egbulem, let's chew on all the tips you've just dropped now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Time will not permit us to take this further, but all you've said, have been absolutely key. Thank you very much for your contributions.
Thank you so much.
Joining me now is social entrepreneur and parenting counselor and member of the World Health Editors Forum, Kingsley Obum Egbulem. Kingsley, it's nice to have you join me right now.
Thank you.
If we have to delve into the details of the kind of curriculum we run now, which has been on since independence or even pre-independence, what is really wrong with the curriculum we have?
Well, when we use the word wrong,
Okay,
we would just say what is missing.
okay.
And what is really missing, like the Vice President emphasized, is the fact that the curriculum that we have now, it's purely academic. It has no, it's not heavy when it comes to extracurricular activity. And if you look at it, what the child does after he or she is out of school is actually the extracurricular activity. The guy who sings, the guy who plays the drum, the guy who plays the piano, the music producer, the sportsman, the athlete, even the makeup artist. Everything they do, we're not
Even
taught.
the newscaster.
Even the newscaster, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Even the editor. All of these things are hinged on certain talents, which the classroom, as currently configured, does not highlight. So you have a child, and like I was saying last time, education is actually bringing out.
Okay.
And what do you bring out? Because there's something inside the child in the first place.
So school is meant to bring that thing out, refine it.
That's it.
And put it out there for the benefit of others. Now, the point there is, we are where we are already. Now, the statement from the Vice President tries to highlight some of the problems that Nigerians already know. But what would it take to enhance that transformation to the, because the school curriculum, it's going to be huge to talk about changing it now or amending it. But what would it take?
The conversation needs to start now, and that's what we're having. Thank God for your station doing amazing work on this. We need to sit down and chart a course. What are the case studies that are working in Finland? Right now,
In Scandinavian countries,
yes,
in fact.
They don't even do examination anymore.
Interesting.
Now, not that they don't do, but there are children who don't do well in examination. But the same child will do well when you say, okay, we've taught you to do this, please do it. And the child delivers. But the child cannot sit down and be doing the y, the x, find x, where x is equals to y minus.
Maybe X has traveled to Afghanistan and you're looking for it in Nigeria.
You get the point now. But that child is intelligent. So we need to come up with other means for first of all, determining a child's IQ level. Right now, for you to determine a child's IQ, you need to test the child's ability of maths and English, which is deficient.
All right. And discovering children from that level, I guess parents also have a long way to play in beginning from that level before you hand them over to schools. All right, we have to leave you here now. Kingsley Obum Egbulem, thank you very much for coming and giving us this insight. So the debate goes on.
Oh,
this.
Definitely.
All right, thank you.
Joining me now is social entrepreneur, parenting counselor. He's also a member of the World Health Editors Forum, Kingsley Obum Egbulem. Good morning. Welcome to TVC Breakfast.
Thank you.
And talking about, learning new things in schools, we can relate totally with the gap in teaching children problem solving. For example, now, as many graduates, leave school, but then there's an aspect of even practicalizing what they learned in school. We find a lot of a yawning gap in this regard. How do we solve this?
The reason is they were not guided in choosing what to study in the first place. Now, JAM determines what you study to a large extent. The JAM examination that we write. So you have a score point. If you don't meet up that score point, you're pushed to any area that they feel you need to go to study. So most people who study, for instance, education, actually didn't plan to study education. Political science, most guys who enrolled to study political science actually wanted to study law. So Once you don't meet up the cutoff, you are at the mercy of jam. And when you come out, you want to do what you really wanted to do. So that is why there's a disconnect between what our kids are studying and what they're actually doing. Then you have the aspect of career coaching. Most kids have strengths. The artist you featured, KJ, he started singing when he was in school. Now, if you have a talent spotter in the school he attended, you have somebody who is interested in talent spotting, talent nurturing, talent exposure, and even development. You would have seen that this guy is an artist. And what do? You will not allow him to just go to any university. You might want to push him to theater arts or performing arts or music so that he can start to nurture the talent and develop the talent that you spotted while he was in secondary school.
And is this how the American system also works? We see people who have prowess in sports, for example, there are scholarships waiting for them, and then, so while they're getting the degree, their skill is also
being harnessed.
That's
it. I'll give you an instance. Dr. Seed. Dr. Seed read medicine. He majored in dentistry. But Dr. Seed had been performing and singing from secondary school. The same Dr. Seed went into university. While he was in the medical school, he was going on concert. He was organizing shows and performing and doing so well. This guy became a doctor, practiced for 3 years, and is out. Now, Dr. Seed released his first album at 31 or 32. And now the question is, how far is he going to go? And the principle of take off early, arrive early. Take off late, arrive late. Holds sway, especially in the creative arts. If you don't start early, you're going to arrive late. Look at Justin Bieber. He was discovered at 15, 16. Justin Bieber is just 30, and he's already been described as a legend because he started early. So our major problem is in not discovering talent quite early.
But we actually have, some foundation. I know secondary schools back then would have, there's a press club, excuse me, there's, various other clubs now to enhance beyond academics and all that. So where did we get it wrong? How can we, pick up?
I think we got it wrong when certification became our way of life. For instance, you have a talented broadcaster who has the gift. He sits in front of the mic and camera, he blows it away. And the guy comes and you say, okay, have you been to Harvard? How many certificates do you have? The guy can read the news naturally. Now all you need to do is brush him up. The elements of mic handling, how to face the camera, lighting and manage the console, all of those basic things. But to say that this guy should go to Harvard before you employ him, you're wasting talent. So what we're saying is that our overemphasis on certification is our problem. I'm not saying we shouldn't ask people to get a certificate, but when people have a natural talent for the things they do, the best you can do is to let them, unleash them and let them fly.
Kingsley Obum Ebulem, thank you very much.
We still will keep him because what he is talking about is very central. He mentioned KJ earlier on. Let me bring in KJ now it's good to have you join us right now, really. And I'd like you to be part of this discussion because the point there is, when it comes to grooming, from your background and your profile, you started singing very, very early.
Yeah.
And when you discovered that, have you done anything when it comes to schooling, when it comes to any kind of program to enhance that aspect of your passion and talent?
No, it's self, there was nobody,
to mentor you and shape you into that.
We all want to be bankers and lawyers and stuff. You get, so you're putting effort in chasing what you don't want to be, so that's why when he was talking, I kind of connect with it. Like, if someone had told me, okay, this is what you're gonna do, go to a music school, get better. But no, we want to be lawyers, we want to be bankers. And at the end of the day, most people graduate and they don't even do what they study. So.
All right, let's listen to one of your songs before we come back to dwell on this, because I know Kingsley would like to talk to us about the role of parents in all of this. All right, let's listen to one of KJ's songs. We'll be right back. He's here in the studio.